Welcome back to Comics with Drew. I'm Drew, and today is Tankōbon Tuesday, and I am reviewing the one, the only, the legendary One Piece. Yes, today is One Piece Volume 1. I'm not sure why it says East Blue up here, but that's what it says. So, One Piece Volume 1 by Oda Eiichiro. I have learned that actually the correct pronunciation is the last name first. So it's Oda Eiichiro, and he is the writer and artist and creator of this manga. For those of you unfamiliar with One Piece, and I happen to be one of them up until just about a couple weeks ago, One Piece is the best-selling manga, and actually One Piece is the best-selling comic period in the history of ever. There are 480 million copies, yes, 480 million copies of One Piece Tankōbon volumes out there, and there are 98 volumes to date. So I'm starting with volume 1 here. This actually got started in 1997, before many of you who are watching this were born. It's kind of funny seeing that, you know, I'm a bit older than I guess a lot of the people that typically read manga these days. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, I don't remember a world where I lived where there was no Star Wars. And this applies to a lot of people regarding One Piece. A lot of people don't even know what a world without One Piece is like. It just permeates culture that extensively. One Piece is actually a better selling media franchise than Star Trek. It has made more money than The Terminator. It's made more money than the Fast and Furious movies. This is no joke. This is a big, big deal. So if this is your introduction to it, buckle up because there's a lot to get through. So again, this is volume 1. It's the very first collection, and it's a fantastic book. I'm already going to tell you right now, it's a 10 out of 10 in writing. It's a 10 out of 10 in character development and character introduction. It's a 10 out of 10 in story and plot. It's a 10 out of 10 in art. It's the prototypical manga. It's like a perfect blend of comic strip and comic book. It's got a perfect blend of humor. It's incredibly inventive. I guess that's the highest compliment I can pay to it. You wouldn't think that a story about a kid who wants to be a pirate could go on for nearly 3 decades now, but it has. And that's just a testament to Oda's abilities as a storyteller and writer. There's not a wasted page in this book. It's just crammed full of everything that you could possibly imagine that you would want from a story like this. You can tell that Oda enjoys doing this. I read somewhere that he actually gets up like at 5 o'clock in the morning and works all the way through until 2 o'clock the next day. That's his work schedule on this thing. The first chapter of One Piece is Romance Dawn. And Romance Dawn just sets up the entire adventure. It introduces you to our primary character, our hero here. This is Monkey D. Luffy. One Piece is really the story of Monkey D. Luffy and his quest to become the king of pirates. You'll see this as a recurring theme in volume 1. None of the characters here really set low bars. All their goals are astronomical. It's always, I'm going to be the best X. I'm going to be the best pirate. I'm going to be the best swordsman. I'm going to be the best Navy guy. These guys are full of just, you know, dreams, and nobody is going to step on their dreams. On our cover here, we have Monkey D. Luffy, a rubberized boy who can't swim. He's our hero, and he's a bit like Stretch Armstrong. He's definitely not Mr. Fantastic because Mr. Fantastic is actually pretty intelligent, and Monkey seems to be rather lucky. And here we have Zolo, and Zolo is a master swordsman. He practices the 3-sword style of sword fighting, and you can see his 3 swords here. And then we have Nami here, who we don't really even see until the very end of volume 1, but she makes a living of swindling pirates. So we have a pirate, we have a swordsman, and then we have someone who doesn't like pirates. These are our 3 main characters. This appears to be Monkey's crew here by the end of the volume, and this sets up what's going to wind up being one of the grandest, most epic manga arcs in the history of ever. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, we have an introduction page. It's basically him just talking about what's inspired him to do the story in the first place. I don't think it's really an adequate explanation for spending 23 years drawing this thing. So One Piece Volume 1 has 8 chapters. We have Romance Dawn, which is the introduction to the story. We see Monkey D. Luffy in this. And then chapter 2 is, they call him Straw Hat Luffy, and this is where he goes on his first adventure as a pirate. He's trying to put together a crew. Then we have chapter 3, Enter Zolo the Pirate Hunter, and this is really the bulk of this particular volume. We meet Zolo, and then we also meet his captor, the great Captain Morgan, and then we have the King of the Pirates and the Master Swordsman, where they fight Captain Morgan to earn Zolo's freedom, and that story continues through chapter 6, number 1. Chapter 7 is Friends, which is the aftermath of this entire storyline, where they decide what they're going to do next on their quest to get the One Piece treasure. And then the volume is rounded out with chapter 8 with Nami, and Nami is a character who robs pirates, and she kind of frames Monkey at the very end, but Monkey gets out of the jam that she puts him in, and she says, oh, you want to be friends and work together. And that's pretty much the end of volume 1 of One Piece. Then we have the making of of One Piece, which goes through a couple different iterations of what it would look like before the final version that you see here in this book is. And then we have some facts about Oda Eiichiro, and that's those are kind of interesting. We start off with Gold Roger. He's about to bite it, but then he talks about his treasure, and it's yours if you can find it, but you'll have to search the whole world. And you know, we've been doing this for about 23 years now, so he was not kidding. Flip the page, then we have chapter 1, Romance Dawn, the Dawn of Adventure, and we got Monkey, and then we have some other characters that we see that we will meet throughout the book. This guy kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik from Sonic, and that's not really the last time you see something in the art that looks like a bit of a ripoff of something else, let me tell you what. Chapter 1 starts off with Villager Boy, Monkey D. Luffy. Here we go. This is funny because Monkey actually has a really big mouth in this chapter. As they like to say, he's full of piss and vinegar. He just wants to go off and be a pirate and show how tough he is, and his idea of showing how tough he is to promptly stab himself in the face. This is your manga gonna manga moment. So I'd like to say that every single manga that I've read has that moment where things just go strange for no apparent reason. And One Piece starts right out the gate with a kid stabbing himself in the face to prove how tough he is. Yep, that's your manga gonna manga moment. But he's doing this to impress some pirates, and he wants to be a part of the pirate crew, and he's gonna go off and be a pirate, but he needs them to take him along, and he's just letting them know that he's so tough that he will stab himself in the face. Maybe not the intelligence level you'd be looking for in your pirate ship out there, but it turns out it works out for Monkey. Pirates are definitely impressed with the fact that he's tough enough to stab himself in the face. Yep, don't try that at home, kids. That's not how you That's not how you prove how tough you are. So even though they're celebrating him, the pirate captain, red-haired Shanks, he's nonplussed here. He doesn't think that Monkey is good enough to be a pirate, mainly because he's a kid and he's small and he's not a good fighter, even though he's got himself a pistol punch here. This is the first time we see the pistol punch. Later on, we'll be seeing him calling out pistol punches quite extensively. Another thing I'd like to note about this manga that I've not seen in any other is the double word balloon tails here. That's unique. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean or what that's supposed to convey, but I've not seen it before. Another thing I'd like to comment on is the fact that quite often whenever we see a new character, we have a big ta-da, or if we come across a new location, we've got da-dum. It's almost like that Netflix sound effect when you log into your Netflix and it goes da-dum, you know? That's kind of like what this is. I feel like I'm signing into Netflix every time that this happens. To make a long story short, the pirates decide that they're not going to take Monkey with them because one of them would have to give up his place if Monkey were to come along, so they're like, yeah, peace out. So we're seeing here, we start with Slam, make way for the Scourge of the Mountains, then we got the leader of the Mountain Bandits here. He says, you guys call yourselves pirates, you guys all look like you suck. And then we've got Dr. Robotnik here, and then we've got the first mate for the pirates. And then we have Monkey here. Now, Monkey is doing something. You'll see what he's eating here. This is one of the most important panels in the entirety of One Piece, and you could say it's actually one of the most important panels in the entirety of popular culture worldwide, considering how significant the impact of One Piece is. This is where Monkey is eating the devil fruit of the gum gum tree. This is the fruit that essentially turns him into Stretch Armstrong. It's going to factor into his ability to basically run around being indestructible throughout the rest of the course of this volume at least. And we flip the page and ta-da! So yeah, here we go again. We're introducing a new character, so naturally we have ta-da to let you know that we have a new character. This is Higuma the Bear, leader of the Mountain Bandits. As you can see, he looks like Kevin Bacon. He's seen better days apparently. Ultimately, he tries to pick a fight with the pirates. The pirates don't bite. They're like, yeah, that's bait. And they decide that they're gonna walk away, and this infuriates Monkey here. As you can see, he's still eating the gum gum fruit here. He's super surprised that the Mountain Bandits are trying to start a fight, but the pirates don't take the bait. Monkey then rebukes the pirate captain, says that they're a bunch of cowards and a bunch of weaklings, how dare they do this, and then he decides to take off. The pirate captain grabs his arm to say, hey, wait a second, where are you going? And that's when we have the boing. Yes, this is where we see that Monkey has become elasticized, and they find out that, turns out that he actually ate the devil fruit that we were talking about a couple pages back, and that was gum gum fruit. Pirate captain says that's gum gum fruit, the fruit of the devil. It's one of the secret treasures of the sea, and now he'll never be able to swim, and his body will be like rubber, which is kind of odd. You would think that rubber would float, but apparently not in the world of One Piece. This is very devastating to Monkey, and you can see he's so devastated that, boom, it's time to go eat some fish, and he's just out there, let's go get some fish. Now, I'm not going to show you this entire book here. Obviously, you should go out and buy it. You should absolutely, definitely go out and buy it. But to make a long story short, the pirates wind up coming back. Monkey gets into a fight with the mountain men, but then the pirates come and try to rescue Monkey. There's a big fight, and the pirates and the mountain bandits fight it out, and the mountain mountain bandit leader disappears with Monkey and then kicks him off a boat. And Monkey, being unable to swim at this point, falls into the ocean. And the next thing you know, Monkey's out there trying to not drown, and then a giant crocodile or some kind of eel thing comes after him. This looks an awful lot like the crocodile from Peter Pan. So we've got Robotnik and we've got the crocodile from Peter Pan so far. It's definitely great art, but you wouldn't expect it to be quite so on the nose. But right at the last second, red-haired Shang shows up and saves Monkey, but the sea monster bites his arm off, and yep, that's definitely another manga moment right there. So everything's fun and games until you see a severed arm. Gore out of nowhere. Then the pirate decides to leave, and we have an Indiana Jones moment. If you're familiar with the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where we learn how Indy gets a scar on his lip from the bullwhip, and he gets his hat. And there seems to be a lot of Indiana Jones influence in this first chapter, because we have Monkey getting the scar in his face, and then we also have him getting the hat from the guy who respects his determination. And that's basically Romance Dawn. So there's a lot to get through just in chapter 1 of One Piece. And we haven't even gotten into the other 7 chapters. Chapter 2 is, again, ta-da. And this is funny here because now we have 10 years later, we have an older Monkey and we have another ta-da. So we have a ta-da with first Monkey, then we have a ta-da with older Monkey. So we've established that anytime we have a new version of a character, we have a ta-da. In fact, actually, anytime we have any kind of character, it appears that we have ta-da. That's very interesting. I'm not going to leaf through every single one of these chapters here. In this chapter, we meet Kobe. Kobe wants to join the Navy, ultimately. We also have the lady pirate Iron Mace Alvida, Dadum. So this is a Dadum. This isn't a ta-da, this is a Dadum. She's a real piece of work who abuses her crew and rules with an iron fist and an iron mace, apparently. But as you can imagine, we have Gum Gun Pistol here on deck, and Iron Mace Alvida gets one to the face. Kobe gets rescued, and Kobe and Monkey are off to try to assemble a super crew. And to that end, they're going to try to rescue Zolo here. And with that, we're at chapter 3. Enter Zolo, the pirate hunter. Maybe it's Zolo, I'm not sure. Zolo? Probably Zolo. We find out that Zolo is a master swordsman. He's been kidnapped by the Navy there. The Navy is run by this Captain Morgan dude, who's a real hard case, and his son is running around causing trouble and generally abusing everybody. But Monkey needs to get crew members together, so there isn't going to be a hard case captain stopping him, nor his brat kid running around causing trouble. Monkey's going to get his guy. And the Zolo story arc takes up the rest of the volume, right up until we get to Nami. It's kind of tacked on, to be perfectly honest with you. Ultimately, Zolo winds up joining Monkey's crew, and they go off looking for the Grand Line. Then they get waylaid by some other pirates, and the pirates were waylaid by Nami. Nami is this girl who makes a living robbing pirates. She winds up getting Monkey into a jam, but then decides, hey, you want to be friends, you want to work together. And then that's the end of volume 1. We follow it up with some making of One Piece here. We have an untranslated version of One Piece, an original ashcan, if you will. Then we have another version 2. Again, this is not translated, so it's hard to see what they're actually saying here. You kind of have to take their word at it from what they're talking about. And then we get some facts about Oda Eiichiro, creator, artist, and author of One Piece. His birthday is New Year's Day, 1975. He's Capricorn. His Chinese astrological sign is Rabbit. His blood type is A. In case you're ever in the vicinity of Oda here and he needs some help, and he needs some blood, you will know what blood type he has. He likes big gentle dogs and, long walks on the beach. In this particular printing, we have some more advertisements for Dragon Ball, Black Clover, and some other manga. Then we have You're Reading in the Wrong Direction. If you start off the book this way, yeah, that's not the way you start it. You start it off this way. That's One Piece. This is a monster of a manga, and it's a monster of a Tankōbon volume. I highly recommend you pick it up. It's only $10. It's a quick read. There's a lot that goes on in it. The humor is fantastic. The story is fantastic. It's really inventive, and I really can't say enough about it. If you're looking to spend $10 on a comic book or a graphic novel, and you're open to reading something new, and you've not picked this up, go ahead and pick it up. You'll find yourself wanting to pick up the other 98 volumes, which will be, just another $1,000 off your comic budget. But you know what? That's a small price to pay for actually being conversant in One Piece. Once again, thanks for watching Tankōbon Tuesday and Comics with Drew. I'm Drew. If you like these reviews, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.